in for Katie Chats here at Hotdocs in downtown Toronto with filmmaker Patrick Reed. How does it feel to be back here at Hotdocs for your film Fight Like Soldiers, Die Like Children?
Well, Katie, it's a great honor, obviously, to play Hotdocs. It's an amazing festival. It's the 20th anniversary this year, and it's a festival that I'm from Toronto, so it's a festival I remember going to 20 years ago, and it's really where I fell in love with documentary and decided I wanted to be a documentary filmmaker. And it's exciting. I mean, we film around the world for various projects and play festivals around the world, but it's very special, bringing a film home and being able to see it with your friends and your family and your crew and the Toronto public. It's an amazing festival.
Tell me why you chose the title Fight Like Soldiers, Die Like Children.
Well, it's very, I can't fully take credit for it. General Dallaire, who's the main subject to the film, and a lot of Canadians would know him because of his experience during the Rwandan genocide. He was the UN commander there, and we made a film with him before called Shake Hands with the Devil about that experience. So in the last couple of years, he's written a book about child soldiers, and that's kind of the title of his book, and we borrowed it for the film, or he lent it to us.
What do you hope that audiences take away from the film?
Well, there's a lot of films about child soldiers, and child soldiers are obviously in the news and in the media. There was the big Coney 2012 most viral video of all time that a lot of people may have seen. It's an important issue, but I think a lot of people, when they hear child soldiers and they hear Africa, it fits into a certain stereotype about Africa, this belief that this is somehow, a place beyond the pale where the most savage possible things happen. And what we were looking at related to child soldiers, we were going into the region, we were going into Central Africa, and there's a lot of different scenarios. In certain cases, some of the kids who join up are 14, 15-year-old kids whose families or villages are being attacked. And it's a complicated issue. In certain cases, they join up because I either stand back and watch something happen, or I pick up arms and fight myself. And so the whole idea behind the film is really for a Western audience to be able to look at the situation and, instead of just sitting in judgment, think like, well, what would I do in that situation? And there's not a lot of easy answers sometimes.
And while you were on location in Central Africa, what were some of the challenges shooting on location?
Well, it's a difficult, challenging place. Again, I had been lucky enough to make a number of films in Africa, and this one of the challenges is you're going back to a region with General Romeo Dallaire, and it's a difficult place for him to be because takes a real psychological toll on him. He was the UN commander during the Rwandan genocide. He watched 800,000 people being killed in 100 days. So when he goes back there, he's reliving a lot of those moments. So there's that kind of difficulty. And then on top of it, we were going into a lot of areas where there was active fighting or being close to active fighting, and just not the usual kind of structures and logistical support. So there's always those challenges. Yeah.
While you were shooting the film behind the camera, were there any times in particular that were particularly emotional or difficult for you?
Yeah, there's often a lot of difficult emotional moments. And again, I've been in places where, there's been famine or war zones or genocide. One thing I think that was particularly difficult for me this time, or stuck with me, is the fact that, I've got 3 young children myself. The oldest one's a 7-year-old boy. And in certain cases, we were going into places where some of the children that were being used as child soldiers weren't that much older than my own son. And so there's that issue, but then the bigger issue, I think, or the troubling thing or difficult thing for me to deal with, is the fact that even when they're taken out, even when they've become demobilized, in many cases, they've been gone long enough that they don't really have a family to go back to anymore. And so you can't help as a filmmaker, but to put yourself in those situations and see your own kind of family and your own children through the experiences people are living there. And hopefully that's what the audience will do as well. Again, to be able to put themselves in those situations and see their own family in the families and the struggles that people have over there. Yeah.
What parts of Africa or the African culture kind of draw you to it? What are maybe some of the happier things that you really love about the culture?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question, Katie, because people have this sense that Africa is a place of kind of despair and hopelessness, and it's not at all. I mean, it's a place of incredible resilience, and there's moments in the film where people are reflecting on the fact, like, what would happen in our situation. I mean, you look at Canada when the electricity goes out, and there's an ice storm, and everything falls apart. And you're in situations, you're in places there where the power is going out all the time, if they have power at all. So a lot of the basic things that we consider like you absolutely need are not there. And yet, people have full lives, and life is a struggle, and life is a struggle for everybody. But there's an incredible resiliency there that I find not depressing but inspiring.
And what types of projects do you hope to develop in the future?
Oh, that's a really hard question there, Katie.
Maybe part 3?
There might be a part 3. I always find it very, very difficult at the end of a project to, you've thrown so much energy into finishing one thing, and then thinking about what you're going to do next. I mean, frankly, I'd like to do something just for a change that might be a little more light. And as my kids keep saying, they really love me to make a film that they could actually watch. So I'm not saying I'm going to start doing kids' films, but maybe something a little lighter.
And where's the best place to find out more information on you as a filmmaker and on the film online?
Yeah, so I work a lot with White Pine Pictures, who are a production company in Toronto. So that's really the best place to go. And Peter Raymont, who's the producer on this film and who I made Shake Hands at the Devil with, and a number of other projects, that's his company. And the film's playing at Hotdocs, but it's going to be released theatrically in Canada a couple of weeks from now. Or you probably don't want dates, do you?
We can have dates.
All right. I didn't want to stale date your thing. So a couple weeks from now, and we'll be playing across Canada, and then it's on TV Ontario. They're our main broadcaster. So people can go to the TV Ontario website or the White Pine Pictures website for more information.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and best of luck with upcoming projects as well.
Thanks a lot, Katie, and thanks for your interest.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here at Hotdocs in downtown Toronto.